Okay, this is the Graphing Linear Equations Vocabulary Graphic Organizer. What I want you to do now is pause the video, and I want you to use the vocabulary and fill in the blank, and then try and match as many pieces of the coordinate plane with vocabulary terms. Fill in this graphic organizer here, and then go ahead and try and complete these points. Remember, when you graph, X goes first. You're going to have to do the math on a separate worksheet. I want you to check this to make sure that you have the correct solutions. So remember, when you have 2x plus y equals 10, then the x goes first and the y. So if you have 2, 3, this would be the x and this would be the y. So you would plug in 2 here and y in here in the equation and see if it is accurate. Okay, I'm going to pause for a few minutes. See you in a few. Okay, I am going to fill in the bottom, in the middle, fill in the blank first, because I think this helps explain what you're doing up top. And so we are going to, the coordinate plane is formed by a horizontal number called the x-axis, which is this line right here, and a vertical number line, the y-axis, which goes from top to bottom. Each point on the coordinate plane has an address called the ordered pair. The point where the axis crossed is called the origin, which is right here. So this would be 0, 0, and this is the origin. The x-coordinate gives a location on the x-axis, and the y-coordinate gives location on the y-axis. A linear equation with two variables has an infinite number of solutions. Okay? Each solution can be represented by a point on the coordinate plane. These points form a line called the graph of the equation. Okay? So now I'm going to go up here and we're going to fill in the blanks. Now, I'm going to give you the information here on how to fill it. And there's some that are going to be like, oh, this might be new to you. But I just want you to see it visually on the coordinate plane, and we will go over it in a lesson coming forward. Okay? So this is the ordered pair coordinates. Remember, this is the x and this is the y. So this is the x coordinate. And this is the y coordinate. This is the coordinate plane. And like we talked below here, this is the y-axis. This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. This is the x-axis. Now, one thing we're going to add is the upper half of the y-axis is positive. The lower half below the x-axis is negative. To the right of the y-axis over here is positive, and to the left is negative. Okay, so then we're going to, this would be called a point. This is where the intercept, it's a y-intercept, and this is a term we will go over more fully. Diagonal line, x-intercept, and again, that's another term we're going to go more fully in depth. This is a vertical line. Remember, this is the 0, 0, the origin. Okay? This is the y-intercept. And again, that's another term. The y and the x-intercept will go more fully in depth. This is a horizontal line. Just remember this mental image when we talk about it. Okay, horizontal line. And again, the x-intercept. All right, now we're going to review the quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, and remember they go to the left. Quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. So here the x is going to be positive and the y is going to be positive because they're all in the positive area. Okay, quadrant here will be, quadrant 2 will have x negative and y positive because on this side the x is negative and the y is positive. Quadrant 3, the x is negative and the y is negative because they're all to the left and below. Quadrant 3, x is positive because it goes to the right, and y is negative because it's below the x-axis. All right? Now, this is where we are going to check our ordered pairs. And I'm going to put up the solutions, and I want you to check your answers. And this was not correct. This was not correct. This was. This was. This was not. This was. This was. This was. And this was not. Remember to show your work on a separate piece of paper. Now here, if you look at this, the first one, I plugged in 8 and 2 equals 10. So it was 2 times 8 plus 2, 16. 16 plus 2 does not equal 10. Here, I put in 2 times negative 2 plus 6. The y is 6. So negative 4 plus 6 does not equal 10. So take a minute. You can pause it. I'm just going to scroll down where you can see all the answers so you can check it. Okay. And check your work. And I'm going to trust you to check your work. And you're going to show your work when you hand this in. Okay. You can actually do it on the back of the paper here. All right. So I'm just going to move it slow. Remember, you can pause it and go back. Okay, so check your answers. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to plot the points. So remember, x is first, then y. All right, so 1 up 2, that's 1, 2. Okay, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 2 is 4, negative 2. Okay, 0, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, negative 1, negative 1, excuse me, up 3, 1, 2, 3, because we do x first. Negative 1, 3. Okay, so now I showed you how to do it. I'm going to go over here. So A is x is 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 3. B is negative 2, 0, because we go over 2. Okay, C is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. All right, and now here, we have a point 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 here. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, This would be 4, -1. This would be 2, 0. This would be 0, 1. This would be 1, -1, -2, 1, 2. And this would be -1, -1, -1, -2, -3, -4. And it would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you just pick some of those and put it in the box here. Now I am just going to put this up here so you can see the answer key because I showed you and modeled how to do it. So I want you to check your answers. And if you have any questions, remember, I'm just trying to get this as big as we can here. And remember to ask the teacher for any questions. Put the work for the first piece on the side. I'm just going to leave this up. Remember, you can pause it, check your answers, and again, ask your teacher for any questions that you may have. Thanks for listening.